There we go. I've been recording the streams, and then at the conclusion of those streams, I've been going back and putting timestamps into the video if there was anything interesting that I wanted to go take a look at, right? As the instructor, I wouldn't want somebody to just turn over a 2-hour Twitch stream to me and say, hey, here you go, because I ain't looking at a 2-hour Twitch stream if 8 students all turn one in. But it'd be more like, hey, I want you to look at this timestamp that took place at 5 minutes, 47 seconds that had this really cool interaction with a player. And so they're going to be doing that. They're going to be recording what some of those interactions are in their notes. And then again, they're just compiling data. What's this community like? What are the players like? Is it supportive? Is it toxic? What are some of the specific interactions I've had? What have I learned about the people that I'm playing with? And they're going to walk away with some, you know, some data at the end that they're going to use to turn into a formal project, an essay. For those of you that are just tuning in, I did forget to hit record until just now, so if you're watching the recording later, we are just getting into Final Fantasy XIV for the night. We're giving Palace of the Dead a shot here to see if that leads to any interesting interactions with other players. Right now, we're just kind of steamrolling through some easy content, but we'll see how things go. I really want my mobility options back. I was used to having an ability where I could jump in on the enemy as Gunbreaker, and I don't have that. I have a ranged ability that will draw aggro, and that's about it. It does look like our warrior has their aggro ability turned on, so I'm not also going to turn mine on. That'll just cause enemies to pinball back and forth between us, which will be more annoying than anything else. Alright, let's sprint so we can get to the teleporter. They're going to be waiting for me. I guess an interesting observation we can make, I'll see if I can do it here while we're loading. Cat girl, bunny girl, I think 2 bunny girls. So one of the things we talked about in our stream last week was the demographic of players. And overwhelmingly, the vast majority of players that are playing Final Fantasy XIV, if they're likely to be any one race, it is, oh boy, haste but auto heal disabled. It is the Mikote, which are the cat race. And then we also see a huge number of people playing as Viera, which is the bunny race. And so we have a cat girl samurai, I believe, a bunny girl machinist, and a bunny girl warrior, right? And then my character's kind of inspired by like dragon imagery. I have scales and a dragon tail and that kind of thing. Horns. And you also see in Final Fantasy XIV that the demographic skews greatly in favor of female characters for most of the races. So the Mikote, the Viera. Now the Viera were originally planned as being a female-only race until they decided to make it both male and female. That comes from some Final Fantasy lore where the Viera have been in other games like Final Fantasy XII and a couple others where they are reserved. Final Fantasy Tactics Advanced, where they are referred to or only exist as a female option. I guess in Final Fantasy XII they mentioned that there are male Vieras, but they've all left the community and they're out kind of in the world, and they're very rare and few and far between. Final Fantasy XIV, I don't know if there's more lore about these races and where they come from and that sort of thing. It certainly seems like the race that I'm playing, which is Aura, is stationed out of this Eastern-inspired area that I'm going into now, Doma. Alright, let's go. Let's follow them to the top, I guess. You can now discern the call of the accursed horde. You do not sense it on this floor. No idea what that means. If I remember right, I think... I actually don't know. I was going to say, I thought there was a thing where every so many floors you'd end up getting a ton of enemies to spawn back to back to back, and you'd just beat the tar out of them, but maybe I'm thinking of something else. Hey, we're level 30. We got Burst Strike. Now, Burst Strike's a cartridge ability, and I got silenced at some point. so I can't do anything with it. We can use that ability, I guess. Or not. Okay. So you're picking up these things like Pomanders of Purity, Pomanders of Strength. They're all like these temporary items you can use while you're in the palace, but I don't think they just show up in your inventory. So there's probably a special menu that they show up in. But I could not tell you what that would be. So I just usually been letting other people handle the items here. Some chill, somber music. Boom. And hey, look, there's 3 of them. I can do AoEs. I can spin to win. Hey. All right. The passage is all the way to the right, so we're just going to sprint and head that way. Always sprint with the weapon, all right? Like we're charging headlong into battle. Look at that. That looks so cool. The classes all really have, for the most part, cool animations when they're running with their weapons. I think Gunbreaker has a really cool one. I also think that Ninja has a really cool one. Ninja kind of does the Naruto run with their daggers out. Ooh, that hurt. We're all good, though. Let's see. All right. Come on. Let's go. Maybe we should try to generate some chat here, right? When we get into this next one, I'm going to hit party chat and ask everybody how they're doing tonight. Actually, let's do it this way. Now, I was going to maybe ask them how the Pomanders work, but on floor 17... Oh, I shouldn't have AoE'd there. That's fine. All right, let's see. My party is like way out there. They must have kept going when I fought the lone enemy. That's fine. If only you could use this as a way to level alternative class. I think actually, now that I say that, I think when you hit level 50, the 50 to 60 I think there actually is a way to use Palace of the Dead to level classes. Because I was looking at one point when I was playing this on free trial, I was looking at expanding and playing a different class, and I wanted to figure out a quick way to do it since main story quests weren't an option. And I think there actually may be a way of taking advantage of Palace of the Dead for leveling. But I don't know what that is. Okay, so 2 of us are ready to go. The other 2 wandered off elsewhere. Oh, no, 3 of us are ready to go. It's the same person that wandered off last time. Are we on floor 20 yet? "18. An ancient enchantment revitalizes your body and mind. HP, MP increased. Fortune smiles upon you now, possibly." Somebody used an ability, or maybe the game did that, where we can now see traps on the floor. Those things over there are the items, or the traps that will silence you, do terrible things like that. Landmines, etc. We also, there we go, somebody blew it up anyway, or blew up one of them. We also have the ability to see the entire map, rather than it being random. Again, I think some of it's random when you spawn into a floor, but I think some of it has to do with the Pomanders and stuff that you pick up. Hey, look at that. We killed the enemy right next to the teleporter. That's like super ideal. Although we need to get this guy, I guess. Let's go. I just realized that, hold on a second. I can't see the drop frame notification for, for Streamlabs because my taskbar is in the way. So I'm gonna fix that when I have a moment of downtime, maybe after we're done through this section of Palace of the Dead, because I don't want to be having a choppy crap stream and not know it. So it was working, I think, fine the other day when I streamed Siege on Saturday. Did we miss something? Oh, we did. Anybody that's played Final Fantasy before, the Malboros are, or Morbowls, I guess they're called in this one. They're a little scary. They do a thing called Bad Breath, which basically inflicts every negative status effect in the game on you at once. Not quite as scary in Final Fantasy XIV outside of a couple instances. You do have a couple marble bosses that will cast Bad Breath on you. But it could be a thing in a traditional Final Fantasy where if you get hit by the Bad Breath attack, then you are poisoned and blinded and silenced, and you might be turned into a zombie and all sorts of weird stuff. One of the most horrifying enemies in the entire game. Alright, here's floor 20. Here's our boss, Spurge. So she's gonna main tank. I'm gonna off tank. These bosses are stupid easy, at least at the low levels. Can we silence her? I think I did it. Now, if she does it again, I'm going to have to run. So far, so good. Oh, I don't think we can get out of it. It didn't do a ton of damage, but I didn't see a way to get out of that move. It looked like it was covering the entire platform. That would be one where maybe you have to save and interrupt. And we're not going to worry about the ads. Nope, there we go. You guys noticed Hornet spawned right at the end, but for the way that works is if you kill the boss, then they just disappear, so. Somebody said, yay, thank you. So I wanted to make sure I offered my support. I did not read what that menu said. It said something about having rewards in my inventory that I didn't collect. That's fun. Here's our little story cutscene. Like I said, you get little snippets of what's going on down here. But it's all just a bunch of cutscenes like that. So, we can now continue and queue up for floors 21 through 30. Which we'll do. We'll see if it works. And then we'll do what I was attempting to do before, where we then leave and go on with the story content. And we'll just kind of pop in and do this as we can. We got to remember it's Quarry Mill that we need to go to. And then I need to teleport to Namai. Alright, and I was going to fix my Streamlabs window. Give me just a second. Nope. So make sure we're not getting any frame drops here that I'm not aware of. So far, it's been great. Okay. I think we're good. All right, let's attempt to go have this cutscene play out. So, let's see. So we're gonna go into this town, try to gather intel on what's happened here. The Empire came in and completely decimated this place, and they're just starting to rebuild. Lisa and Yugiri are wearing merchant disguises because they don't want to go in looking like warriors, although apparently it's okay for me to dress that way. So we're going to just go around the village and gather information about what happened. I keep yawning. A lot of this incidental dialogue I usually just speed reader zip through. Yeah, they're not buying that they're not buying that I'm not a mercenary. Okay, again, they're just giving information. I'm gonna kind of skip through most of this. What race of person is that? Huh. Like a dog wolf person. I've never seen that before. Cool. Apparently they're called Lupin. Been in Doma for a very long time. That's cool. Okay, there we go. Gathered information. I think we're gonna head right outside town again and then compile the information we collected. Right down here. Much of the same. Frustration. Trying to convince their leader to come back and fight. He kind of left this place to be. Hey, well, look, we finally got our first piece of gear that's better than what we have. Sweet. Now we're widening our search, talking to people further out. And it looks like there's a quest here I might need to pick up that might lead us to an Aether Current so we can fly our mount in this zone. Yep. I'll grab that quest as well. And it looks like that quest is over here. Maybe up this way? Yeah, we're just gonna make our way up the cliffside here. There we go. Gonna help tend the fields. Whoops. I like the scenery of like terrace farms. Cool. I don't know if it's supposed to be like rice paddies. I don't know if that's how those grow, but I know that they're submerged in water like that. Okay. Open the bird cage and free the house sparrows at the designated area. Seems like the area's up here. Yep. Hold on, what did that say? Try it again. Clap. So kind of cool. There's areas where you have to do emotes to progress quests. So here we had to clap for the birds. Tell you what, doing the emote commands is a lot easier on PC than it was on controller. I have to open the social menu, go find it, click on it. I can just type / whatever. Cutscene, that's what that icon means. They're trapped in a cutscene. Oh, cool. Alright, we're gonna snag that and see if it's better than what we have. Whoop. Oh, shoot. No. Comparison. So it's a higher item level, more strength. We drop critical hit in order to pick up skill speed. We drop direct hit rate to get tenacity. Tenacity is a good stat for tanking. We get that. Yeah, we're gonna do it. And then if we need to slot into materia, we can do that. Although I don't think I can do that anywhere. I think I have to go to specific places to slot materia. What does this materia do? Savage Might gives determination +4. Yeah, that's fine. We'll equip it anyway. Cool. Mount up. Another thing I got was I got a new outfit for my chocobo. Oh, here we go. Palace of the Dead 21 through 30. Any of the same people? I don't think so. Another warrior with their tank stance pop, though. So again, we're not going to mess with that. We'll let them take... Oh, and they're actually going to, like, tank it. That's cool. So, I'm just going to let them gather all the enemies. Adamantoids are also enemies. Oh my goodness. That in other Final Fantasy games were a big deal. I don't remember the first time that they were a real big problem, but I remember them being in Final Fantasy XIII. I was silenced and couldn't use abilities. Uh-oh. Oh, that's why they died. So yeah, we had that big pull that happened there, which I thought was going to work out great, but 2 of our people died because we don't have access to a healer. And I think these giant abilities, the Tortoise Stomp abilities, were actually doing a lot of damage, especially because they were overlapping. Whoop. That's cool. They're talking about using this as an opportunity to split the rooms and go towards the other areas here. So they're going to move kind of that way and up. Although, no, we can't go through that yet, I don't think. I don't think it's active. The Kieran's not active yet. I got Nebula. What's Nebula? Oh, Nebula's damage reduction ability. And I think had that wipe, that partial wipe not happened, I don't know that people will be talking in the chat, but because that little bit of excitement happened, they're now talking to each other. So that's kind of cool. We'll see if that continues into the next zones, or if now that we've kind of done this, we'll kind of do a reset and stop talking. I gotta go get my food in like 6 minutes before we can fly through. Somebody ordered food and is wanting to go get it, but they're worried about the floors taking longer than they should. That first one took forever because of what happened. It's open. It's open. Let's go. Let's go. I didn't realize that you didn't have to get all the enemies sometimes. Can you really just stand here and let it go? Okay, that was a little bit faster. There's gotta be a menu where you can use those. Because somebody just opened it, they just drank it, they used it. Now they're gonna grab a whole bunch of enemies again because they pop that potion and they want to go fast. And they gotta be careful, we don't have a healer. Now, warriors also have a lot of self-healing abilities. It's kind of their shtick, but still gotta be careful. Hey, I got another AoE attack. Sweet. And this one will actually generate a cartridge charge, which is even better. Okay. Hey, we can go again. Speeding things up a bit. And that music is just needlessly epic for what we're doing. Oh, I triggered a luring trap, which spawned more enemies. Which is fine, I can take them for sure. I should be able to anyway. We're gonna pop that ability. Reprisal makes it so that all of the enemies around us deal 10% less damage. And since there's so many of them, oof. That's a really good ability right now. All right, everybody's still up. We're good, we're good. There we go. So we should be able to sprint to the teleporter. Go right to the next floor. Oh my goodness, there we go. Come on. Yes, perfect. Blinded. I think blinded means that you can't, oh no, we're literally just have the blind status effect, which means we're gonna miss a lot of our attacks. Whoops, I hit the wrong button. That's cool. Oh. Knockback's disabled. Oh, they cleared the ability. Oh, that's what, okay. Again, I'm glad somebody knows what they're doing with these potions, because I have no idea. I don't get that jumping in ability to level 56. It's still 13 levels away. It's no good. It's also strange to play this class where you're lacking so many abilities. Oh, I got silenced. Because this class normally starts at, I think, level 60. And so I'm not used to not having my abilities. It's interesting, though, that they balanced out the game that way, because I guess I could still take this class and go do low-level content where I get level synced. So even though this class normally would never be a level 1 class, I still have to be prepared for it, or they have to be prepared for it. It's also amazing, you know, when I was a kid and I played Final Fantasy for the first time, I saw all these enemies and assumed that they were like original creations, and oh, there certainly are some, but a lot of enemies in Final Fantasy are just straight up ripped from mythology of other different cultures or religions. Like we had the Minotaurs and the Centaurs and all sorts of things. And some of them are from like some really deep cuts in terms of like cultures and religions that most people don't know about. But if you look at it, a lot of fantasy enemies are that way. They're ripped from mythology. Another game series I really like is Persona, and you know, the demons that you recruit in Persona are all inspired by real world mythology and creatures. Oh, I love these fights where you're just pulling a ton of enemies. These rock enemies remind me of the Pokemon Crustle. when I first started playing Pokemon Unite when that came out last year, Crustle was one of the Pokemon you could play as, and he was a ton of fun. There used to be a build where you would do Shell Smash, which increases your attack speed, or your attack and movement speed, I think, or your damage and your movement speed. And I can't remember the other ability. People used to call it the Crustle Hustle. It was fun. It was so much fun. I'll tell you what, if I was ever going to go on and be like a professional esports player, that would have been the game, because I got in on it on the ground floor and played a ton of it when it came out and really, really liked it. But then life just got busy. That was also right around the time that our second daughter was born, so... Uh-oh, I got put to sleep and I'm in the middle of all these attacks. That's going to go really well. And it's also like that game was made for me, because the year it came out, in 2021, it came out on my birthday. Here's the boss, here we go. Let's finish this so this guy can go get his food. Somebody transformed into like a succubus thing, that's interesting. I pull their attention. Nope. See, I don't even have my threat generating abilities activated. My stance, my tank stance. Oh, I'm standing in fire though. That's good. Good job. Here itself, is that gonna make us run away from him? Didn't do anything to me. Our bard's almost dead. Archer, I guess they're not a bard. Cool. That other tank was doing some good stuff, even despite... Okay. Exiting the area with a full inventory may result in a loss of rewards. Record progress and leave the area. No, that being said, I don't think I have a full inventory. No, I got plenty of spots. So I should be good to go. Unless they're talking about like a specific inventory that I can access here. Give me a second. I want to see if there's an actual inventory for this part of the... No. Oh. I don't know. And then again, we have another creepy cutscene of this woman just staring at us. Oh, you get tombstones. Okay, those are used to get endgame gear. Not like good endgame gear, but that's still a bonus. That's another really cool system, because by getting those items from doing old or low-level content like this, it incentivizes high-level players to go do other things that low-level players need to do, and still get some sort of meaningful reward out of it. So there's actually a lot of dungeons. I'll show you the list here. There's dungeons that you can do that offer, right here, offer those tombstones. And so this one says a level 50, 60, 70, or 80 dungeon. So if I queue for this and spin it, it's going to throw me into a level 50 dungeon. Usually one that people are completing as part of the main story quest. And then I'll get those tombstones for helping out. They'll get their main story progress done. It's really fantastic. Because otherwise, if I was playing through old content, the only people that would join the dungeon are other people that are leveling at the same time as me. And a lot more of the players are currently playing are doing the end game or current expansion content. So if I'm level 30 trying to do a dungeon, there may be very, very few people on the server that are at the same level as me ready to do it. So this level sinks those people down to my level and then gives them a whole bunch of rewards for doing those dungeons. Let's see if there's another. Yeah, main scenario. Look, 350 tombstones for doing the main scenario dungeons. So that's really good. Normal raids even, which are good. Alliance raids. So yeah, they give incentives to higher level players to go back and do that kind of content. So sometimes players will farm those dungeons and do those because, here's another example, because they want to get those tombstones to unlock some equipment. The equipment that I'm wearing, most of this equipment on my character, other than the new stuff I swapped into, I got from those tombstones from doing content when I hit the level cap. So there you go. We'll go ahead and queue up for the next one, I guess. And then see if we can do what we were doing before. Ooh, that's cool. Is that a black mage? Yeah. Ooh, wow. That's cool. So it's Purgatory Circuit of Casting. That is cool. It looks like their yeah, their headpiece has like almost like mummy bandages over their face. That's interesting. Is their eye sticking out? Let's see under their hat. I think so. I think one of their eyes is visible. Huh. So that's made to look like... Oh, it's made to look like the hat of casting. That's cool. Really, really cool. Black Mage is an interesting class because, as you saw, anytime we fight through dungeons or bosses, there's always that orange glows on the ground. Those are enemy abilities, and so they're kind of telegraphing. They call that telegraphing, saying like, "Hey, get out of this area. You're gonna get hit." And most classes have fairly high mobility where they can get out of those. For Black Mage, they have to spend a lot of their time sitting still with long spell cooldowns, and I think they actually get some bonuses if they stay still long enough. So they have some interesting abilities that require them to stay put, as well as this ability they get later on called Ley Lines, I think. And I don't remember exactly how those work, but as a Black Mage, you want to be standing inside your Ley Lines to get some bonuses. And so, compared to most DPS where you can move around all over the place, especially the melee ones, the Black Mage actually needs to kind of think ahead of the fight and stand still in a lot of times. And so they need to stand in places where they're going to be safe, or cast abilities at the right time so they're not going to have to cancel them. All sorts of stuff. Whoa, there's a whole bunch of things I have to go do for this quest. That's a lot. It's fine. I was trying to figure out where the next story quest is. This music's kind of fun. Oh, and we lost it because we're on the chocobo. I could turn that off. Maybe I will. I like the chocobo theme, but when it plays every single time you get on the mount, it gets a little bit old. Another cool thing they did that they absolutely did not have to do. Ooh, shoot. Oh, shoot. Heal, heal, heal. I thought they were going to keep chasing me. Another cool thing they did in this game that they did not have to do is each expansion has its own battle theme, so the battle music changes for every expansion. And another thing you might have noticed right there is after I got out of battle, it went back to the normal music, but it didn't restart the track over. It just faded back into the other one. So instead of hearing the same opening line or opening measures from a song over and over, you actually get to pick that track up right where you left off. So it doesn't get worn out as quickly, which is really cool. Those some big bugs. Alright, one more of these locations, which is actually down here, I think. And I'm probably gonna have to go back to that guy. Mm-hmm. Now, do we do that or do we do the next story quest? I think we're gonna do the next story quest just because we're so close to it. Yeah. It says it's up here. Oh, right there. Anytime you are doing a quest and you see one of those purple circles, you know that by stepping into that circle, it's going to initiate some sort of combat encounter. So you can prepare for it. That's always nice. I love that even the regular enemies oftentimes have these abilities where you have to move out of the way. It keeps combat exciting, so I'm not just sitting there mashing my keyboard over and over. Face rolling, as they used to call it. Okay. Save the child from the bugs. I didn't read that whole text box, but I caught that they were saying they were collecting flowers to go lay on their parents' graves. It's another example of the tragedy that the people living in this place have been facing. Oh. I hit the wrong button, that's okay. And I hit the wrong button again. Uh-oh. And I ticked off a nearby enemy. That's fine. I need to be prioritizing 4 over 5. I forgot I switched those a couple days ago. There we go. We actually ran back this way. Azami, I knew that name was familiar. Azami's an operator in Rainbow Six. She is the newest defender. I don't have her unlocked yet, but she is very good. She's been out a while, but I just didn't play or pay for the battle pass she was a part of, or I can't remember how they slotted her in, if she was the battle pass that you could pay to unlock, or if it was buying the previous year's season thing, because they just switched how they do it not that long ago. They switched to a more battle pass model than a traditional season pass structure. How do I get up there? So oh, okay. Alright, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna teleport back. We're gonna go up this way and around the cliffs. Then we have to go back through like the field area that we were in before. Back up this way. Some interesting scenery there. I think that's the magical gates that are protecting the giant city. When you enter this area, they show that there's a city, like a big imperial looking city that got blocked off by a barrier. I would assume that's what that is right there. What I couldn't gather was if the Empire put up the barrier to lock them in, or if they've put this barrier up to keep the Empire out as they try to rebuild. I think the implication was that the Empire has sealed them in there. Oh, I see what's going on. This guy was skeptical of us when we showed up. A lot of the people were. He was actually skeptical of Ghost Setsu, not us, but these people are really, really cautious to have us here because they don't want our presence to cause the Imperials to come back, hurt them, or put them in any further danger. His parents went off to fight for the rebellion and did not come home. They got beaten for it. Jeez. is truly horrific. Oh, now my gear's all out of whack. I've got an actual set of armor that I'm starting to put together. That's fine. I have a bunch of glamour prisms I can cast if I want to, but we're going to leave it for now. There's actually several of them. Ether current, there we go. I should go hide over here like we're supposed to first. I'd never heard of that Lupin race until we saw that character.
Imperials.
Uh-oh. This is what they were afraid of. This is a fairly small group. Do we stand up and take them out? Do we make a stand? I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. If we stand up to them, they might send more people to punish these villagers later.
Why are you milling about like a pack of slack-jawed mongrels? Form a line! Now! Finally. I come before you today to deliver an announcement of the highest import. So listen well. While on a charitable mission to Isari village, the acting viceroy and her personal guard came under attack from Confederate forces. This brazen, unconscionable act cannot and will not go unanswered. As loyal subjects of the Empire, who enjoy her safety and prosperity, you have a duty to defend her as well. There is no cause for alarm. We have no intention of sending ill-trained fodder to the front line. Those who are selected will be expected to perform rudimentary tasks, cleaning and maintenance and so forth. You will serve only as long as you are needed. Afterwards, you'll be free to return to your homes. You first.
The Empire has no pressing need of cleaners. This is but a thinly veiled attempt to intimidate those who supported the Confederacy's actions, and isolate any whose loyalty they already suspect.
And lastly, you. That should suffice for now.
Oh, I think they pointed at the child.
Don't worry, I will be back
Oh, no.
before you know it. Listen to the elders while I'm away, and do not play outside the village. Everything is going to be fine. I love you, all right? Remember that I love you.
We thank you for your cooperation. Rest assured that this will all be over very soon, once the Confederacy has been made to pay our own ruby tithe.
Imperial sure are jerks, but I like their armor.
There's no telling what might happen to those people. We have to help them.
And we shall. But before all else, we must needs ascertain their destination. I doubt this is the first village the Garleans have visited, nor is it like to be the last. I will track these men. Will you help me? Pray return to our headquarters and tell the others what you saw here. Should we have need of reinforcements, I would know that they are ready.
But I should be going with you. I came here to fight!
Soon enough, Lise. Soon enough. For now, we must proceed with caution.
I know that. I do. It's just... when I saw them rounding those people up... Look, if anything happens, anything at all, you'd better call for us. I mean it, Yugiri. Anything at all.
I'm worried about those people. I don't think they're just getting pulled away to do rudimentary cleaning and maintenance tasks. I think they are in some big, big trouble. We'll go grab this first and then swing back. So I should probably just mount up. One big fall that I didn't need to take. And here comes another one. And the nice thing is you can take a ton of fall damage, but it will never kill you, which is really nice. Try going this way. Yep. Let's do the storyline quest first, just because it's closer. That person learned how to fly in this zone. We still have... So we have 1, 2, 3 that come from questing, and 1, 2, 3 that come from exploring. I think that's the way it works. One's I can never remember which line's which, but I think that's correct. And if we hit the compass, is there one close by? Kind of. To the south, which is the direction we were headed anyway. So we'll talk to Yugiri and then see if we need to keep going south. Use blow darts. Cool thing is when you discover new locations, you get a small amount of experience points. Oh, I missed a place I was supposed to go. Whoops. Let's do that before we get too far away from it. I was too focused on the Aether Current. Oh, that's kind of cool. So I'm looking around for the Imperial, which I think he's right there. Then we're going to target him and hit him. Cool. Alright, we're just going to keep going around and doing this to the other soldiers to incapacitate them. And it looks like there's another one over here, so we'll do this first. In the sprites, you don't have to worry about them being hostile ever. In fact, if you look at the enemies, if they have this like blue icon next to their name, they're passive. And then if they have like this red icon like this, that means they'll attack you. Alright, let's do it again. There's 5 of them. Cool. 1. 2. We're gonna speed run this. 3. I feel like I'm sniping in Fortnite. There's that Aether Current we were looking for. That is not a weasel. No, no, no. That is like some hell spawn. What is that? I do not want. That's listed as a quest monster. Obtain water serpent leverage from water serpents. Okay, well, there we go. Oh, I think what happened was we were knocking out the guards that just ran off with those people so that we could bring them back to the village. Although, I feel like if you did that, they just send back a bigger force and punish the people that tried to get away, but what do I know? That's nuts. Oh. What are those? Naga? Some strange tree spirit monster. It's kind of cool. Oh, wait, it wants to murder me. Of course it wants to murder me. The scenery always wants to kill you. And you turned around. Never mind. You know, one of the other things that we talk about in some of the other courses, right? You know, right now we're doing a bunch of single player content, so maybe I can't really do much breakdown of the social elements, the culture study bits, but I can talk about some of the game design elements. Ooh. And whether they fit some of the themes that we've been studying. So let me do this part here first. What I was gonna say was, you know, one of the weird things that you see in this, being that it is a video game, you see this with a lot of MMOs. That enemy aggroed me, which means it was chasing me, it wanted to come after me, and then I walked far enough away that I got out of its initial radius and it turned around. So even though I was standing right next to it and it was close to me, I had gotten out of its radius and it just turned around and it goes back the other direction. So that's one of those things that from a gameplay perspective makes sense, because it would be annoying to have the enemy chase you indefinitely. It's really jarring in the game because it doesn't make sense that that enemy would just give up and run away from you if there was nothing that you did to make it run away or lose sight of you. That's a concept that they call ludonarrative dissonance. That's where the game and the story, or the game and the immersion, are kind of at odds with one another. And you see games do that a lot, right? Because at the heart of it, they're a video game, and so they have to feel good, play well as a game. And so usually developers will side on the ludo or the game side of things over the narrative side. But sometimes they'll find really clever ways for the story to kind of offer a good justification for the gameplay stuff that's happening. We're gonna stop them right now before they can get out of here. Yep. Give me just one moment here. I'll be right back. Alright, we're back. Sorry about that. I needed to grab a dying baby monitor so it could charge. I think I'm going to open the duty finder. We're going to withdraw from this. It's taken a half an hour to find the group. We're getting to the last half an hour of the stream as well. And I'm kind of getting into this story bit. I want to get it done so that we can get to the next bits. But again, yeah, kind of the realization I had a minute ago was if there's not a lot to talk about culture study-wise or culture-wise during these single-player quests, these narrative bits, I can talk about the game from a design perspective. And just kind of MMO design in general. In a lot of ways, Final Fantasy XIV is trapped in the old-school MMO design in terms of the way that questing and combat functions, because it is at its heart in the same school as like your World of Warcrafts are. And I would assume, I don't know this from experience, but I would assume that EverQuest and things were set up similarly to this as well, where you have abilities on a hotbar that have cooldowns. So if you think about the second-to-second gameplay of combat in an MMO, it's like, oh, I'm sitting here, I'm waiting for my turn to hit the next ability. You know, you can't make the argument that that's not very enticing. And when you're doing normal mundane combat like this, you're not wrong. So the question is, when you're designing an MMO, how do you make the combat engaging when you're completing the same loop for every combat for 2, 3, 4, 5, however many hundreds of hours that you put into it? Now, the traditional answer is that your character continues leveling and progressing, and as they do, they get new, more powerful abilities or utility-like abilities that change up the way that combat works. You know, so when I'm level 5, I can hit 1 and I can hit 2, and I can hit 1 and I can hit 2, and I can just cycle back and forth between like a 2-hit combo. And then when I level up again, now all of a sudden I have the ability to interrupt enemies if they're casting a spell, or now I have the ability to heal myself, or now I have a ranged attack, or whatever it might be. And then there's just this constant cycle of I level up, I get a new ability, I level up, I get a new ability. Then that gets into some interesting questions of like, well, do I need to have an ability every single level? Do I need to have an ability every single level, or can I is it every 2 levels? Is it kind of on an as-needed basis? Final Fantasy, I feel like, does more of the on an as-needed basis, where it's not like, oh, every other level you get an ability. World of Warcraft, I think, used to be that way, where like I would level up on an odd level, I wouldn't get I would get like a talent point, but I wouldn't get any actions, and then on even levels, I would get new abilities or actions. So that made it very predictable, which some people liked. I kind of like Final Fantasy's approach because it makes it slightly less predictable. And so I may go 2 or 3 levels where I'm like, oh, I didn't get anything. Oh, I didn't get anything. But then it'll be more of a kind of pleasant surprise when I do get something. So it looks like we're disguising ourselves as Imperial soldiers. That's B, not right now, bud. Not right now. If you're gonna be a pest, climb up here. Come on. Climb on up. Sit on my lap if you want pets. You just want to come say hi. Show you off on camera again. Here we go, silly, silly kitty. Kitty. Oh, you're wrapped up in my cord. Ferocious little guy, aren't ya? Aren't ya? Wrap your bow tie around there. Alright. Pet you in a little bit. Please don't knock over anything. Don't attack my toes. Oh, okay. While in uniform, perform an imperial salute to the guards. If I open my... Oh, they place this stuff in my armory chest. Okay. So this is one of those cases where they actually do have you put on the gear, right? So, quit. 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 I'm doing that a stupid way. I just need to go like this. I think that's it. They wouldn't do a weapon. Accessories, I don't think they mess with either. Okay, so we've got the full setup. We are going to go perform a salute to the guards. Now, is my gear... Yeah, my gear's really poor, so I don't really want to get any fights right now. If I can avoid them. Which I think we can. Oh, just as I said that. Alright, you know what? This will be fun. We'll see how big of a hassle this is compared to a normal fight. Taking a lot more damage. Like a lot more. Keep in mind, I'm a tank right now. And this thing's pacing me on HP. That never happens. I'm at half health right now, and so is this. I'll be fine. I can pop my healing ability, I can lower the enemy's damage like that. But under normal circumstances, a normal mob like that wouldn't even come close. Oh, I might be in real trouble here. And there we go. I was looking at the enemy's health bar and thought it was my own. Alright. Now here's the cool thing. I can click on the other soldier, and instead of retyping it, I can hit enter up on the D-pad, or up on the arrow, and we'll go back into the last command that I typed in. The Imperial Salute's a command you had to learn way earlier for another similar thing like this where you were trying to fool the guards. Okay. So I went up to them, basically told them that they were relieved from duty. Now I'm going to go back to Yugiri and tell her that the way is open. I don't know if I still need to wear this outfit or not, but I'm not going to take it off just yet. Hey, there's another player likely doing the same thing. Free the villagers. I think at this point I can probably take off my disguise, but we shall see. Oh my gosh, there it goes again. I really don't want to fight it. There's another Aether Current. Now, because I'm running in circles, will it leave me alone? I don't think I'm getting... So, no. Oh, maybe. Yep, it did. I didn't say what. I didn't know if their aggro distance was based on where they initially start fighting you, or if they follow you for a certain amount of just total distance and then disengage. So it looks like it was the latter, where they follow you for a certain amount of time or distance and then just turn around no matter what.
Listen to me, all of you. We have dealt with the Imperials for now, but you must flee this place quickly.
Dealt with them? Oh no. You didn't kill them, did you?
Are you mad? There's no escaping the Emp.
I knew this was going to be the response we got.
To stay is to die. You know this to be true. Even if you lack the will to fight, surely you have the will to live! Or has that, too, been beaten out of you? Is this what has become of Doma?
The story really deals with some mature themes, and I love that.
You
They're
will
confident
not be
enough to tell
entertained,
these adult,
trained
dark
to fight
stories.
Without fear and obey without question.
And very human stories, too.
Well, we're not. We're lost and afraid. We hate this, all of this, but we can't do a damn thing to change it. And trying will only make it worse. It's a pathetic existence, but it's all we got. And when people like you come here pretending it can be different, it doesn't help. All right?
Peace, boy. Peace. She came to help, and for that we should be grateful.
Elder, your face.
We all have scars. Some too many to bear. Too many battles. Too much lost. Our friends, our family, even our liege. We who survived are forced to bend the knee, to sell our souls and surrender our dignity. How are we to lift our heads when this shame weighs so heavily upon us? Your courage, your resolve, they are as salt in our wounds.
If they only knew what you would do for them, my lord. You have made your plight clear, and I shall impose my will no more. But know this, brothers and sisters of Doma. For all you have suffered, for all the horror and the ignominy, you are still here. You are still alive. My lord prays you value your life as highly as he does. As for me, I swear by all the kami in creation that I will free you from this torment, no matter the cost.
If the Imperials come for me, I will tell them we were tricked by an Ori woman.
Tell them whatever you must to keep your loved ones safe.
Why would you... After everything...
Hey, cool. So if you saw that message... if you saw that message, our mount speed increased in this region. So periodically as you go through the story, your mount will get faster. And then once you do all the ether current things, then your mount can fly. And that happens for each zone in the expansion. Ooh, we're going to be wearing a skirt here in a little bit. She doesn't really know what to say or how to react. Alright, so she said we're gonna administer a potion to the guards. Oh, there's also a gunbreaker. Just want to check out her gear since she's the same class as me. That's cool. Now this is like generic tank gear, so any class can wear it. We're gonna administer this potion to the guards that will cause short-term memory loss, so they won't know what happened, and they'll suspect that they fell asleep at their posts. Hopefully that keeps the people in the village safe. Well, what's interesting is it seems like no matter what we do to try to rise and generate this will to fight in people, they're just so broken and scared that they're not willing to fight. They know that their situation sucks, but they are not willing to fight for it. And again, that is real, man. That is human as human gets. The idea of we know we're being oppressed, we know we're being treated terribly, but we literally have no means of fighting back, because anytime we rise up and try to fight, we just get treated even worse. You know, there were examples of that when I used to teach social studies, that was one of the themes that they addressed over and over again in AP US history. Oops, was the idea that whenever in North America, whenever slaves would rise up and try to fight against their slave masters, that the punishment that happened after every single one of those slave rebellions was that the laws and the treatment of slaves would become even more harsh, because it was a way of trying to prevent them from rising up again. So even if you see a successful rebellion or a successful in the short-term rebellion, long-term you would see even harsher treatment than you did previously. And so it just creates this cycle where it's like, well, why would I fight back against this when I know what's going to happen if we do? And a lot of the times you see people target loved ones, right? I can take this abuse, but I don't want my kids subjected to this. I don't want my wife or my husband subjected to this. So I don't want to fight back and rise up against them, because even though things suck, at least I have my family. If I rise against them, they may kill my family. Oh, can I not climb up there? Maybe this enemy's gonna trigger. Oh, they didn't. Weird. Oh, shoot. No, they're down here. Okay, I thought maybe they were up above. Thought I was going the wrong way, but Yugiri should be over here somewhere. She's right there.
Forgive me for making you search. It calms me, the sound. It helps me to remember the sway of the ocean when I close my eyes. Despite the many great and noble things I said, in truth I am not of Doman. I was born beneath the waves of the Ruby Sea. To think that you were there, that you even spoke with my mother and father. They are in good health then. The knowledge is of great comfort to me. That I might have the strength to protect my home from the Empire, I left to learn the secrets of the shinobi. Day and night we trained, ever striving to exceed our mental and physical limits. After a time, my skills were recognized, and I was dispatched to assist the Doman Liberation Front. It was then that I met Lord Kyan and his son, and their loyal samurai, Gosetsu. Good men all, brave and true, so clear their eyes, so pure their purpose. Any shinobi would have been proud to serve them and Doma. But, in the end, I will always be of the sea. Every day, I pray for my home and for the people I left behind, that they might be spared the wages of war and live in peace, untouched by this madness. I confessed this to Lord Hien once. Do you know what he said to me? He said, "Good. We are better for the conviction of our allies, and draw inspiration from their example. What is weak alone may together grow stronger." Never did I lose faith in them. Even when all was lost and I led our people to Eorzea, I clung to the belief that our dream would one day be realized. But when I gazed into those eyes bereft of hope, when those broken men balked at liberty, the dream was shattered. So I pray, and thus do I labor to see a new day dawn, regardless of my misgivings. When all is said and done, we can but carry on, together. An Imperial airship. It is bound for Doma Castle. Quickly, we must rejoin the others.
Yeah, this person is clearly going through the same bits of quests that we are right now. I can't just teleport up there. I don't know the... I wonder if I can just... If that's water and I can cross it and go up that way? Or if I need to go around. Well, I think here's what we're going to do. We're going to teleport back to Namai. We'll go turn this quest in. And we'll rest in Namai, and we'll call that good. Because we're almost at the end of the stream. We've accomplished some big storyline things tonight. Hopefully that puts us in a spot where when we return Wednesday, maybe we're moving closer towards another dungeon or another big set piece moment. A big tiger. Yep, there it goes. So I will make an attempt to, when we're playing and there's nothing to talk about culture-wise, to focus on elements of game design and mechanics and things like that, because that also may serve some value as well. And there's plenty of that to talk about with an MMO like FF14. There's so many overlapping systems and interconnected pieces that all kind of work together, and you can really see the way that they've gotten creative with some of those systems, right? The storyline quest we just did, the storyline quest that we just did, for example, had us doing that blow dart thing, right? I've never done any quests like that in the game so far. They created this new little mechanic. I'm assuming it'll repeat itself later, maybe not with blow darts, but scouting targets or something. And it'll just kind of be another iteration or use of that idea, right? So, and that was certainly more interesting than getting near the target, clicking on them, and then using the blow dart item. Actually zooming in and shooting them with the dart was fun. It was interesting. It spiced things up a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and wind things down here. I'm going to flip over to my end screen here. Let that peaceful music take us out. So thank you for joining me for tonight's stream. Not a lot of exciting things going on, but we will be back Wednesday, same time, same place, 9 p.m. Central, as we continue through the story of Final Fantasy XIV, dive into the culture of Eorzea, and talk about some good old game design. So thank you, take care, have a good night, take care of each other, and I will see you next time.